The number of teenage Canadian athletes seemingly on the precipice of big things in high-visibility sports appears to be at its highest level in recent memory. The tennis scene includes Denis Shapovalov and Felix Auger-Aliassime. RJ Barrett has NBA scouts drooling. Soccer player Alphonso Davies has superstar potential, and Taylor Ruck is the real deal in the pool. Canada's top teen athletes are making their mark in some of the biggest international sports. Taylor Ruck poses for photos with her 8 swimming medals at the Commonwealth Games in Gold Coast, Australia, Tuesday, April 10. Ryan Remy-Ors, the Canadian Press. "I've never seen something like this across that breadth of sport in Canadian history," longtime CBC Sports broadcaster Scott Russell said. "Certainly not since I've been covering it. In a country that pumps out star hockey players with regularity, other high-profile sports are also getting a turn in the spotlight." Shapovalov rocketed up the rankings last year after a breakout performance at the Rogers Cup in Montreal. The 19-year-old from Richmond Hill, ONT, could share the tennis spotlight in future seasons with Montreal's Auger-Aliassime, a former U.S. Open junior champ who just turned 18. Article continued below. "I've been around the game a long time," said Rogers Cup tournament director and former ATP Tour player Carl Hale. "To have 2 players that are potential top 10, top 5 players is tremendous for the future of tennis in Canada." Read more. RJ Barrett's Duke game plan includes CN Tower and Poutine. Alphonso Davies or RJ Barrett, which talented Canadian teen will have more impact on his sport? Ruanik Beck is top-ranked Canadian after Shapovalov slides 6 spots, and the basketball scene. Barrett is a good bet to go first overall in next year's NBA draft. The 6'7" wingman from Mississauga appears primed to excel as an 18-year-old freshman at Duke. Davies, from Edmonton, is only 17 and has already displayed standout form with the Vancouver Whitecaps, earning a spot in this year's MLS All-Star Game. The team recently reached an MLS record transfer agreement for Davies with Germany's Bayern Munich that could total more than $22 million US. Article continued. Bella Ruck, an 18-year-old from Kelowna, BC, won a Canadian record 5 medals at last week's Pan-Pacific Swimming Championships in Tokyo. She could be a podium favorite at the 2020 Tokyo Games. "We're becoming major players in those major international sports that a lot of people consume," Russell said. "It's also easy to forget that swimmer Penny Alexiak is still only 18 years old. She won 4 medals at the 2016 Rio Olympics 2 years ago." Some Canadian youngsters are barely out of their teenage years and continue to show that their early success was no fluke. Edmonton Oilers captain Connor McDavid, 21, has averaged over a point a game in all 3 of his NHL seasons. Golfer Brooke Henderson, who was 18 when she won a major 2 years ago, already has 6 LPGA Tour titles. Sprinter Andre DeGrasse, 23, has been hampered by injuries of late but raced to 3 medals 2 years ago at the Rio de Janeiro Olympics. "We're really maturing as a sporting nation," Russell said in a recent interview. "We're no longer just about skiing, skating and sliding. We're about all of these other things." It's difficult to pinpoint a specific reason why Canadian youngsters are blossoming on the sports scene. Funding, amateur investment, additional professional franchises, and changing demographics are just some of the factors. The effect from the 2010 Winter Olympics in Vancouver, where Canada led all countries with 14 gold medals, cannot be understated. "Believe me, I've seen it over the years. Nothing inspires young boys and girls, men and women, more than winning or when they see a Canadian win," veteran sports broadcaster Brian Williams of TSN said. "That's what inspires them." The GTA has been spoiled of late, with Shapovalov and Auger-Aliassime playing at the Rogers Cup and Barrett in town this week for pre-season games. Davies is nursing a hip flexor injury but could suit up for the Whitecaps in the second leg of the Canadian Championship on Wednesday against Toronto FC at BMO Field. A golden teenage in Canadian sport might just be on the horizon if it's not here already. It can be hard to tell since some prospects soar while others can quickly fizzle out. The depth of talent should have sports fans in this country very excited about the future. I think it's a real sign of our maturity as a sporting nation," Russell said. "I think not only that, it's a maturation of our appreciation of sport as a people.